Well, welcome to my channel. My name is Teasia Renee, and if you are watching this video, then obviously you know why we're here. We're here to discuss the reason why I quit my job. What do I do now? Well, just to give you a little bit of back history about me, my name is Teasia Renee. I am 29 years old. I am a single mother to a beautiful little girl. I recently decided to quit my job. I work in the hospitality industry. I've been working in the hospitality industry for about 9 years now. Bartending, the food industry, hotel side. My major is actually hospitality management. Hospitality industry has always been a very, very fascinating industry to me. I've always loved hotels. I've always wanted to know the in and outs of it. Always dreamed about opening a hotel or a bed and breakfast one day. I think I was really just overall fascinated with like houses and buildings and infrastructures, period, because I always wanted to be an interior designer at one point. Just recently, about 9 months ago, I started working at this resort. I was working at a hotel before there, but I decided that since there was nowhere else for me to grow with that hotel, that it was best for me to go ahead and seek elsewhere because, you know, I was already there for 3 years. It was time for something new and fresh. I'm ready to get, you know, something new underneath my belt. So I found myself looking online for a job, and the first job I saw was the resort. The hiring process went well. Everything seemed cool, even though I read some really bad reviews about them with their Glassdoor reviews from prior employees talking about the management style and how things were ran and wasn't really, you know, up to par. But I said, you know what? Let's give it a go. Everybody's going to have disgruntled employees, but it's make the best of the experience. So it took them about a month to hire me, the whole process. I had actually started working somewhere else, but I turned that job down to come to the resort. I had been there for about 8 or 9 months. I didn't do the math. Yeah, it was fun. It was inviting. It was a new experience. I was learning a whole new side of the hospitality industry. Like, I've always bartended, but I've never worked with wine. And it was a really, really nice resort. It wasn't something that was like a commercial hotel or a hotel that you see normally, like Holiday Inns or Sheratons or Hiltons or, you know, the regular name hotels. It was actually something that was privately owned. So I thought that was pretty interesting because my goal is to one day own a boutique hotel. You know, over time, I realized that I wasn't a fan of how it was managed. The general manager himself, he was amazing, but it was the managers underneath that actually worked with the individuals that I just wasn't a fan of. So over time, communication was just bad. It was just management not knowing how to deal with their employees. It was just really, really just messy. At one point, I found myself in a situation where I had been lied on by 2 other employees, and the whole story got misconstrued. My schedule got changed because of it. My hours were changed. It was just a whole big old mess. One of those employees that I had got into it with actually got promoted to management. So there was always kind of a rift between us two. She's one of those ones that doesn't know her job, but needs to rely on everybody else to make the job happen. So me and her never seen eye to eye. For about a good 4 months, she never spoke to me. But, you know, of course, we have to work together. We have to, you know, mesh, but we just didn't speak. And I brought that up to the manager over me, basically. And I would let it be known how I felt and what I was feeling. And basically, it just got swept under the rug. Once other people started having the same issues that I was having, they was like, oh, okay, now we see there are issues, but nothing was still being done about it. So it was like the managers versus the employee. I'm just a very vocal person, so everything that I felt, trust me, I let it be known. It was to the point where I was feeling overworked, I was feeling misused, I was feeling like I wasn't being appreciated. I felt like I had a big part in contributing to the sales and to the revenue of that resort. I wasn't getting any kind of recognition. I just felt like it was, you know, oh, whatever, that's what she's supposed to do. But yeah, everybody else was getting pats on the back and this, that, and the third. So when everybody else around you seems to be just moving up and moving around, but yet you're getting looked at like you're the problem child, then that's going to be an issue. Now, like I said, my education is in hospitality. I've been working in this industry for a long time, as well as anybody else that worked there. But my thing is this, like, if you ask the guest are gonna say, Teasia helped me, or Teasia this, Teasia that. I was getting reviews, I was getting all kinds of recognition from the guests, but when it came to the actual management, it seemed like there was always an issue with me. I tried to lay low, I tried not to, be too much, because they said that my personality was a lot, which in the hospitality industry, the more personality, the better. And I felt that I was being singled out a lot. Like, how can you tell somebody, like, your personality is too much, but that's the reason why you hired me? But whatever. It was to the point where I would have my own way of doing things, to the point where they would start implementing how I did things in their training. So that means everybody was starting to sound like me, starting to move like me, have the same lines that I say. They were starting to do the same exact things, and it was really annoying. But one thing about me, especially since I got my shift changed and I was working during the week, I'm a self-starter. I don't need anybody to tell me this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. If it's on my radar, it's going to get done. So when my manager came and he started nitpicking with me and started, why is this like this? Why is this like this? I had an answer for everything he was saying, because for one, I had already tackled everything he was talking about. The one issue was, which I'm just going into slight detail, was we had an event in the building next door. And with that event, all of our wine glasses were next door. So if the weekend shift didn't finish with those glasses over there during the week, if we're busy, we're not going to have time to go over there and get those glasses, because only 2 people during the week, and we were busy. Now, at that one time, we weren't, and we were doing busy idle work, but still, why would we go take those glasses from over there when we have an event coming this week also? It just made no sense. So it was basically, I felt like the manager was bored as hell. He had nothing else to do except for just act like he was busy before his meeting. So I went to my coworker and I was saying how I felt, and he was agreeing with me. Everybody agrees with me if you ask them. Like, people being extra, there was no reason for it, and we could have kept it pushing. And so when I'm telling my manager how I'm feeling, or saying however, whatever I'm saying, he's catching an attitude, and so he pulls me to the back. We're having a conversation. He's one of those type of people that if he's talking, you can't say anything at all, because he feels like you're cutting him off, when really you're just responding to what he's saying. And he doesn't see it except for his way. And so we're arguing, and the whole time we're having this heated debate, I see my favorite manager, we'll call him Jay. Jay's walking towards us, and you can see that he was about to come in. The other manager waves him off like, nah, don't worry about it. I got this. And so the whole time I'm getting heated, because he's telling me things and saying the same thing over and over. But what I'm saying is, I'm telling you what my issue is, but it's not getting fixed. I'm telling you, you have management who do not know how to communicate with employees. This team, the team that you like to talk about, say we have roughly 12 employees. Only 4 of us work. Like, what is that? How is that a team if I'm always having to cover for everybody else? Everybody else calls in. They don't show up to shifts. They show up late. They take vacations all the time. They have to go here. They have to go there. Half of them are leaving. But yet the 4 people that you can rely on, we're telling you we are overworked. We're tired. We don't get time with our family. I'm the only person there that's a single parent at that. And I'm like, we don't get time with our family. We're always here. Our schedules are random. There's no set thing. Like, we don't have weekends. Even if you work the late shift on the weekend, I work during the week and I still got to come in on the day shift on the weekend. I'm feeling like I'm double worked. Like, maybe sometimes I can get 2 days off in a week, but there was times where I was working 9 days straight, no days off. And that's me commuting 20 minutes there and 20 minutes back also. Well, it was about 25. But it's just like, why am I giving this company so much of myself when I don't own no shares in it? My name is not on the door of the building. I am not managing and anything, nor do I want to. I don't want to be a manager at that place. I want to see like how it's run from the bottom up. And obviously the management team they have is just so faulty that I don't want that experience. Except for my general manager. My general manager was the shit, okay? Even for me to not have any kind of responsibility, roles, or titles to my name, I'm there so much. Like, imagine if I did have management roles, then I would have to be there so much without being able to just skate out because it doesn't fall on me. Then it would fall on me. So I never wanted management roles there because I just didn't want the responsibility. I didn't want to have to deal with training people. If I'm already there making mad overtime, and once I hit management, I probably won't be making overtime, then yeah, no, let me stay in my position. Let me rack up this overtime because honey, baby was clocking in with them hours. The main issue that I had with that place wasn't managed properly. I was overworked, unappreciated, undervalued. I feel like me creating those guest experience and those guest relationships that I had with our guests that came regularly, some of them, so many people told me for so many years they wouldn't come to this place because it had came and fell down. But now since they got new employees, they felt like it was a better experience. Like, we literally had people that lived up the street come back 4 and 5 days in a row, literally just because me and my coworker were there during the week, and they would come up there for lunch every day. It wasn't happening before. They told me they hadn't been there for over 8-9 years. And then it was just, we brought such a fresh vibe and we were all just so happy. But it's like, you're happy for the guests, but on the inside you're hating life because it's just like the vibe and the flow and the energy and the morale is just down. And the fact that I cried so much there at this job at a resort that I didn't even cry that much in the military. Like, when I was in the Army, I never cried that much. Like, I think I cried at least twice a month at that job. And that's crying to management, that's crying about management, that's crying in my car, that's just me being exhausted, not wanting to be there, that's me crying to my friends, letting them know how I'm feeling. For some reason that day, I was in such a great mood that even the manager that I got into it with, he was like, this is the Teasia I like to see. You're in such good spirits. You're so happy. Things seems to be going perfectly. I like you like this, Teasia. And I'm like, oh, thank you. But little did I know that same day was the day that I was going to end up. I left that building crying, just crying. Because like, I literally went from sweetheart this and baby girl and sister this and sister that to, oh, let that go. He told the other manager when he saw me crying, when he tried to comfort me, the manager I got into it told Jay, was like, let that go. I don't know why you're trying to deal with that. Let that go. And when he said that, I was just like,
my heart.
So on that now, it's just like when you break up with a dude and he like,
that's why you fat anyway.
but I'm like, nigga, you was just praising me an hour ago. That's how I felt. I was just like, bro, you was just sitting here praising me. Now I'm that. You're going to talk to me like I'm just some random person off the street. Like I didn't just give you 9 months of my time. Like I haven't sat here and pour my blood, sweat, and tears into this place when I didn't have to do that. Like I was giving this place my 100%. And my mom told me, don't ever give no company your 100% unless you own it. And so I was giving them 135%, honey. I was giving them my all. I'm talking about my time, my energy. I was stressed over this place, and I'm not the one to stress over work. Because, like I said, if I don't own that company, why am I stressing? If it's not my brand, why am I focused on it? I set my real estate goals and my real estate classes to the side for this job because when I started, I told them, like, yeah, I just finished my real estate courses, so I got to take my license. I want to be a real estate agent on my own time.
Oh, no. You're not going to have time for that because we're going to need you here. Your hours are going to be all over the place. You never know. So we got to make sure that you're able to come in whenever we say we need you.
Not knowing they always gonna need me. I sat there for 9 months and put my real estate dreams and goals to the side. Something I had worked so hard for previously to finish through my classes. I put it to the side for this job. So now here I am, 9 months later, no job. And I'm like, well, I have my real estate classes to fall back on, but I gotta take the damn licensing exam. So now here I am 9 months forward trying to freshen up on my real estate courses to take my exam in a week. Yeah. So now what? Now I throw all of my energy into myself. I make it about me. It is a time to be selfish.
I'm being selfish all 2019, honey.
If it is not about Teasia Renee, it does not matter. That goes for my emotional, spiritual, physical, all of that, my financial health. Never been good at saving money, so I gotta start learning how to save some money, honey. So I'm working on that now too. I quit my job a month ago. I quit my job a month ago and I just have not told anybody. For some reason, when I quit, I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna tell nobody I quit my job. Even like the guy that I'm talking to, I didn't tell nobody because I was like, it's nobody's business. And I felt like me holding this information in, I wanted to express everything I'm feeling in a bigger way. I wanted to put my story out there to the world in a bigger way. So look at me now, recording my very first YouTube video to talk about how I quit my job to pursue my own personal goals, which right now my personal goals is just to spend more time with family, get these real estate license, work for this one broker who I have been social media stalking for over the past year. She know who she is.
Hey girl, hey.
And trying to build my brand. Not many Teasias out here floating around, so you know, when you hear that name, you should think of me. So yeah, I'm just trying to build. I'm doing this to kind of have like accountability, to make accountability for myself. I now have a world full of people out there who is looking at me, depending on me to do what I say I'm going to do. So here it is, putting it out there. I'm going to do what I need to do to get my real estate license. I'm going to change the fucking game and be the boss that I was destined to be.
Be the boss I was destined to be.
I come from a lineage of strong Black women, honey, that own their own businesses and are bosses and don't take no for an answer, and nothing's going to stop me now, especially a job who did not appreciate it. I will never, ever put my mental health on the line for a job. I do not want to feel anxious going to work anymore. I do not want to feel stressed. I do not want to feel like I'm not in control anymore. So from this moment on, I promise to you, I promise to myself and my family that I am going to win. So with that being said, I'm Teasia Renee. I want to thank you if you made it to the end of this video for sticking it out to hear me ramble about me quitting my job and what I plan on doing now. And I hope that you choose to join me on this journey and we see where it goes from here. Peace, love, and many blessings.